So, how do you find your why, and how can this why unlock transformative growth for your business? That's what we're going to discuss with Jeanette Brooke today. But just before we do that, I need to tell you and give you a little reminder that if you are ready to unlock the power of purpose-driven business growth, then you need our free guide on how to find your why, brought to you by J. Taylor Media, that you can download at SWYW Podcast.com. Now, let's discuss how Jeanette found her why. I am so pleased to introduce you to Jeanette Brooke. Thanks for joining us today, Jeanette.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Jeanette Brooke is the founder of a fitness and wellness program that empowers people from all walks of life called Boundless Beauties. She is also a certified personal trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, veteran, Army wife, mom to 3 very active boys, a volunteer in her community, and an overcomer of 2 autoimmune diseases. Whew. So Jeanette, to start us off, tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you started your business.
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction. I've kind of struggled with my weight my whole life, and it wasn't until I had my first son, I got to 200 pounds, and I was just miserable. And I tried all the fad diets, the wraps, the pills, no carb, low carb, you name it. I tried it all and nothing worked. And when I finally found that the secret to weight loss is there is no secret, that it's actually very out there in the world. You just have to know how to utilize those tools. So once I found that out, I was able to lose 92 pounds after having my first son. And I've kept it off through 5 pregnancies and 4 babies. And now that I have those tools, I want to share that with other women who may not have found those yet or don't know how to properly utilize those, and give them that opportunity to not feel like I felt. I've been there. I've felt those things of I'm so uncomfortable in my own skin, and I just want to share that so that no one has to feel that way anymore.
Yes, life is short. It's such a beautiful gift to enjoy this experience. It should be something that is enjoyed and not, you're in a situation where you're not loving the skin that you're in. And I think that that's something that really spoke to me when I learned about you and what you're doing, because I've also felt those feelings of, being overweight. I've had pregnancies and kids as well. I have 2 kiddos, and it's a lot on your body, and you can almost feel like it's a stranger. Your body is, a stranger to you, and it's the most alienating experience. So to have someone like you out there in the world that has been through that, has overcome that challenge, and has specific tools that have not only worked for you, but lots of other people to find health and wellness is such a beautiful gift to the world. So what are some of those tools that you mentioned? What are these things that are accessible to us, but maybe we're not utilizing properly yet?
Yeah. So, there's the whole thing of eating healthy, just eat healthy. Well, what is healthy? And healthy is different for everyone. And so you have to know things about your own self. And it's not, these are the foods that you need to eat, because you can eat what you enjoy. You don't have to, you don't have to quit eating dessert or quit eating bread. Like, there's so much behind diet. The word diet is so but diet is really just the food you eat. It's not you're going on a diet. You need to change your diet a little bit, but you don't have to eliminate all of these foods, eliminate the things that you love. You just have to work those into the program that's best for you. And as far as exercising, there's so many things out there these days. There's yoga, Pilates, Zumba, circuit, HIIT. There's so many things. You have to learn what your body responds to and what you love. If you're miserable when you're doing the workout, you're not going to want to do it again, or you're going to dread it. And then that's just going to build this momentum of you just quitting because you don't enjoy it. So really it's just, and it's not just about the food and the workouts. It's also about everything that you're doing for the other 23 hours in your day, because the workout will take you 30 minutes to an hour a day. And then the other things that you're doing for the remainder of the 23 hours in a day have such a bigger impact on your life than that 30-minute or hour workout that you're doing. So really, it's all those things enveloped. And I think people focus so much on solely the exercise and the food. So when you realize all of these other aspects that is in this big pot of getting you to the best you possible, then you're like, it's like this aha moment. You're like, oh yeah, that's so simple, but I didn't think of that. So that's the kind of things that I share with my groups, and just puts that out there. It's not this hidden secret. There is no secret. Here's the tools. You just have to realize how to utilize them and what works best for you.
Beautiful. I really appreciate that you take the entire person into account. So many other fitness programs that I have tried, especially online, you go to YouTube and say, okay, I want a 15-minute ab workout. It's easy as a content creator to say, just do this 15-minute ab workout and everything will be fixed for you. This is all you need. And we know that there's a much larger picture to health than just a 15-minute workout or, doing this one program. And it sounds great, right? Like a quick fix, but there is no such thing as a quick fix when it comes to your health. So I think it's really fantastic that even though you are a certified personal trainer, because of your understanding and shared experience with so many of your clients, you take it beyond the workout, and not just the workout. You talk about the entire person and the entire wellness map. So beyond working out, we've talked about fitness, we've talked about diet. What are some of those other pieces that are really important for folks to think about that maybe otherwise would be missed?
So if they're basic, simple, like I said, this is not a big secret, but you just don't really, and people are busy. Life gets crazy, it's hectic, we've had COVID to live through. It's just, you forget these simple little components such as sleep. Sleep is so vital to your health, if you're trying to lose weight, maintain your muscle, all of those things. You have to get appropriate amounts of sleep. 7 to 9 hours is the recent study. What happens when you're sleeping is your body is building those muscles. You're actually burning calories while you're sleeping. If you're getting
that's
that
my problem.
Up.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping enough.
You're not sleeping enough. But once you get that metabolism fired up, you're actually burning the calories while you're sleeping. Your brain needs the rest while you're sleeping. Your muscles need those muscle tissues that you've torn, because when you're working out, you're actually making these little tears in your muscle fibers. So while you're sleeping, those are actually rebuilding themselves and making those big muscles you want. But just sleep. I mean, sleep is so vital, but it's so simple, but we forget about that because a lot of times we have babies and we have deadlines and all of those things, and it's not that big of a deal. It's whatever. I don't need it that much, or I'll get a couple hours in and I'll be good. But it's so vital. So sleep is a big one. Stress is another huge thing. I've actually put myself in the hospital under stress. And I don't think we realize when you're under stress, you have a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. And so when you are under stress, your body is literally reacting. Everything's fired up. It's this fight or flight mode. Your adrenaline is like pumping, and it's like, do I run from this or do I stay and fight? And so when you are stressed, your body is literally ready to fight. So if you're always in that mode, then it's just so detrimental to your health. So really, your cortisol levels are up, and that's not great when those are constantly up, and it could really cause damage overall to your health. I know personally, because I actually ended up, after a really stressful situation and letting that control me, ended up in the hospital. So I know from personal experience that stress can kill. I mean, that's what they say, stress kills. And you're like, oh yeah, stress kills. But I literally went to the hospital over a stressful situation. So.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that you got the help that you needed, and also that you are normalizing and destigmatizing the conversation around experiencing stress and getting the help that you need. I think oftentimes everybody experiences stress. So because of that, we kind of shrug it off. We're like, oh, we're all stressed. Okay. Like it's a difficult time. And shrugging it off almost creates a learned behavior of not dealing with the stress and not resolving the stress. And so we can live in a state of high cortisol levels, fight or flight mode, and that can have long-term impacts on your body, your health, your mental wellness. And so I really applaud you for sharing that and being vulnerable. And because so many of us, we look at someone who is a certified personal trainer, who has competed in very tough competitions, who's been featured in amazing magazines, like, wow, they must have it all figured out. And a part of figuring it out is going through those life experiences, and sometimes having that, crisis and overcoming it and sharing what you've learned to help other people overcome those challenges or prevent them. We know that when you know your why, you'll know your way. Subscribe to the podcast for more tips on finding your why, and download our free guide on how to find your why at SWYWpodcast.com. We'd love to hear your own story. Follow us on Instagram at the SWYW Podcast and add to the discussion. So, Jeanette, tell us about that moment. Most entrepreneurs I speak to, they have a moment where they realized that the work they were doing before, the way they were spending their time before, was no longer filling their cup or feeling fulfilling to them. And they, in that moment, decided they wanted to start a business. Tell me about the moment where you decided, you know what, I've got to share these tips that I've learned for fitness and overall wellness with other people.
I really just started, sharing my story. I've always been passionate. Once I got that, like I said, those tools that I needed, it built this passion in me for fitness, all things fitness and health. And so I started just kind of sharing what I was going through on my own personal Facebook. It wasn't anything other than that. And then I started really getting reactions, and then people messaging me, asking me questions. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not certified. I'm not, I don't know anything for certain. I'm just sharing what happened, what worked for me. And then it was really all the people that had all these questions about what I was doing and how I was doing it. That was the moment that I thought, wow, if I were certified, if I actually knew what I was talking about, I could help so many more people. And so it was really the people that, just reached out to me and messaged me and were asking what I was doing and please share what you're doing. I was like, I have the gift of gab, so I can share all day. So
me too.
So I can share all day. And then that's when I started my fitness page, and that started 9 years ago. And wow. I've just been sharing my story of just having babies, losing the weight, and basically just, these little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, and just sharing that. And then I thought, I'll take this one step further and I'll get certified, and then I'll start my own group. And then, so here we are.
Oh my goodness. So you saw a need, you responded to that need with your heart, and it just led you to this place. So you talk about overcoming kind of seasons in your life of, I had my babies and then I lost the weight. I had my babies and I lost the weight. I'm interested to talk about that also as a fellow mom. What kind of tips do you have for people who are going through life changes, maybe a pregnancy, where they know that their body might be changing? Some people their body's changing during the pandemic because our lives and our behaviors are changing in different ways. There's stress, What advice do you have for people that are navigating difficult situations like this and maintaining their health?
So, I've been through a lot of health situations, all these different seasons. I've actually had a really hard last 2 years, just kind of been through a lot of different seasons. And really what got me through it for my health wise is all of these tools that I keep talking about, these basic tools that I've picked up along the way. I just had to remember, I know how to be there. I know how to be healthy. I know how to get there if I've lost my way. So it's really just once you have learned these certain tools and assets, that no matter where you're at, you always know in the back of your mind, like, I'm going to be okay. I know how to get back there. I know how to stay, if you have a health issue and you can't even work out, well, now you know what nutrition does for your body. And you know that, okay, if I just keep a clean diet, then I'm not going to gain 20, 30 pounds during this because I can't exercise. And so those little things, those assets, no matter what season you're going through, like if you're pregnant, and I gained 60 pounds with each one of my pregnancies.
Yeah. I feel that.
One of those like 25 to 30, and then I bounced back.
No, mama, we're talking big as a house. That's me. Yeah.
Yes, that was me. I wasn't one of those like, oh, look how cute. No, I was like, oh, you're very pregnant. So, whether it's having a baby or if you're on, bed rest or you have another medical condition that you can't work out, you have nutrition and, I can still get my sleep and I can, stay in control of this stress. Like you control it, don't let it control you. And we all go through those, learning the hard way. I've learned the hard way plenty. Like I said, the stress thing that I went through, and you learn those little things of, I have control of this, and so I can stay in control of this. And all of these other things, I may be completely out of my control, but I know what I can control. And when you have those tools as far as your nutrition and your exercise and all of those little things that we talked about, then it doesn't feel so chaotic, because deep inside you have those things rooted and that you'll be okay.
Amazing. So kind of giving you that foundation to be tethered to reality and to self-love, self-control over your body. You always find a way back to that place of self-control with these tools.
Exactly.
That's so empowering. I love that. So, final question for you. You talk about these tools and you talked about things that you have learned. There have probably been methods out there that you've seen that are commonly used that it may have helped you at some point, but maybe weren't the best. What's the difference between the way that you approach fitness versus some other folks in the space? And how is your approach to fitness different?
So I think, a lot of people want this quick fix. Okay, I've got a wedding that I need to go to next month and I need to drop 20 pounds. Well, that's not realistic. And a lot of times it's just like these, do our 2-week challenge or do this, drop, 2 dress sizes. It's always like this quick fix, this, short little time frame. I like to take things and look at it like longevity. So if you teach these tools and these assets that I've been talking about this whole time, then they will have those forever. So it's not just jump in this for a quick something. It's get in here, learn these tools, learn these assets, you're in this community, all these people that are learning the same things as you and growing with you, and you'll have these forever. So it's not going to be this quick fix. You're going to learn what foods work for you, what workouts work for you. And it's going to be customized for that. If you walk into one of my workouts, you're not going to be like, I used to look at with certain workouts and be like, yeah, okay, no, that's not for me. But that is one of my biggest passions is if you look at one of my workouts, it's not just, you're not going to say, yeah, right. No, that's not for me, because it can literally be for anyone, because I post modifications, because I know how it feels. I've been there to look at these workouts and be like, yeah, right. And then you feel defeated, and then you have this feeling of defeat and like, why did I even start this? So my program it's for the very beginner of fitness or someone who is a fitness enthusiast, and you can look at that workout, you can add weight to it, you can add bands to it, or if you're just beginning, you're sitting in a chair to do a squat, and you're going to build yourself up to doing that squat without the chair. So it's really just for the longevity, and it's not this quick fix, and it's to break things down of not just get in here and do this workout. We're going to talk about what food you need to be eating, how much sleep you need to get, how much water you need to be drinking. So it's this all-encompassing, holistic approach instead of like this, just get in here and do this workout and then you'll be better.
Yeah. So it's a full program, not just a surface level and, quick fix. There is no quick fix.
Right.
If there was a quick fix, if there was a magic pill you could take, we'd be taking it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jeanette, thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a pleasure to have you on the podcast. To our listeners, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the So What's Your Why podcast. If you liked the episode, or if you think it would be useful to someone else, please leave a review over at podchaser.com. And if you have any questions, let me know on Instagram at the SWYW Podcast. And remember, when you know your why, you'll know your way.